Well, border city businesses selling tobacco products will still have to pay a pretty penny to the City of Lloydminster to do so. This after a review by administration found nothing wrong with the extra charge on business licenses, all to the dismay of two city councillors. Adam McVicker with more.
It's not about tobacco, it's about the law.
Lloydminster's tobacco retailer fee will remain the same in 2017. A legal review has deemed the controversial licensing fee falls within the city's jurisdictional authority.
Whether it's just, I don't think it is, but we'll let it go, and down the road we'll see what happens within the court. Sooner or later someone will challenge, and we'll have to deal with it then.
At this point, no one has challenged it legally. That is a choice that people have if a business feels that it is unconstitutional.
Council deciding the additional fee on business licenses will stand this year. The move drawing opposition and further calls for review from officials.
I think it's important to review your business license fees annually to ensure that they are, correct in the market.
The yearly tobacco fee, $750 for regular tobacco and $350 for flavored tobacco, is on the higher end of similar licensing fees across the country and doesn't change depending on the size of the business.
Personally, I still have a problem with the little corner store, mom and pop store, competing with the multi-box store and getting charged the same rate.
The fee has generated just under $25,000 this year to support a grant for community groups as part of the city's tobacco reduction strategy.
There's no change to the grant and whether it's being distributed in a certain fashion. I believe that's all happening as it was planned.
A grant hanging in the balance if a review is called next year.
When we look at the 2018, whether or not we have that fee or not will possibly change whether or not there's a grant next year to be distributed.
Adam McVicker, Newcap News.
The recent conflict surrounding President Trump and Canadian dairy producers comes at an interesting time for the region. MP Shannon Stubbs was at the Lakeland College sod turning for their new dairy barn, showing her support for Alberta agriculture.
The number one reason it's so important is how important agriculture is to Alberta's economy and to the country as a whole.
She adds both local and federal governments need to cooperate and support Canada's dairy industry.
With the comments from President Trump that it is more important than ever for all levels of government and citizens of Canada to support our agricultural and dairy producers in particular.
She says Canada's dairy industry is unique from other nations and does not subsidize producers, unlike the U.S.
It's important for particularly federal representatives to correct the record and correct the facts and engage with the president and state counterparts as soon as possible to have a fair and fact-based discussion about trade issues between Canada and the U.S., particularly as it relates to dairy production.
In 2015, Canada lost 852 workers to workplace fatalities. Now the City of Lloydminster remembering those lives lost today with a ceremony to recognize the National Day of Mourning and reinforce their commitment to creating safer workplaces. A proclamation for the Day of Mourning was signed by Councillor Ken Baker, followed by a flag-lowering ceremony, then a moment of silence. Health, Safety and Wellness Manager for the city, John Stevens, says when it comes to safety, there's always room for improvement.
We go through audit processes every year to identify our shortcomings, and going through those we identify where we can improve. We do all kinds of reporting and we take a very proactive approach to safety.
Baker has strong ties to the construction industry and says over the last 30 years he's noticed significant improvements.
It doesn't have to always be expensive to have safety. It's just using common sense and certainly training. And so that's good, but can we still improve? I'm sure we can and we will.
The latest numbers on workplace injuries and fatalities are 144 people in Alberta and 31 in Saskatchewan. The third annual Sirens and Sapphires Gala is slated for October 14th. Tickets for the event as well as the main prize raffle are already on sale. Proceeds going towards a series of safety courses vital to rescue operations. Josh Ryan with more.
Those among the nearly 500 attendees at Lloyd Rescue's Sirens and Sapphires Gala last year now have around 5 months to count down till the event returns.
It's great to meet the people who support us in the community, and it's just great to have them come out and we let them know what we do in the community.
The event has become the Rescue Squad's primary fundraiser, bringing in businesses from across the Lloydminster area.
The Lloydminster Rescue Squad is a vital community service, and it takes a community to support this kind of vital service.
Headlining the event once again is auctioneer Danny Hooper, but joining him will be popular Edmonton cover band Uptown.
We've heard lots of wonderful things about them, and so it will be a nice new addition.
Last year's gala proceeds went towards the purchase of a drone. This year, the money is largely for training, including boating, ice rescue, and vehicle extrication.
We want to have all our members trained to a certain standard, and that way they're comfortable and well trained to go out and do the calls.
And that is especially important for the boat training in order to provide enough operators that can handle the unique power and steering of an airboat.
We have about 6 people that will be trained up here by the end of this year. And that way it just gives us a lot more people when you have holidays and just people not around, that we still can run that airboat.
Josh Ryan, Newcap News.
The Maidstone Dance Recital is this weekend, and the Legacy Centre is hosting a dinner theatre next week. Heather Clagus has all the details in this week's edition of What's Happening.
Tomorrow, you've got the chance to see some great local talent in Maidstone as they host their annual dance recital. The theme this year, the movies, and you've got a couple chances to take in the show, 1:30 and 7 p.m. at the high school. Admission will be by donation. Make sure you pick up your tickets for the Legacy Centre's annual dinner theatre. Thursday night is opening night of The Odd Couple, the female version. The cast is going to be the Lloydcombe High School Drama Department. You won't want to miss out on this really fun show and a great night out. So make sure you get in touch with the Legacy Centre so that you can get your tickets. We want you to start your weekend the right way by winning a copy of a great CD from Easton Corbin. It's his latest called About to Get Real, and it includes his hits Yup and Clockwork. If you want a copy, really easy. All you have to do is email your name and daytime phone number to tvcontests@newcap.ca. We want to say thanks to John at Universal Music Canada for setting us up with the music. And it doesn't matter the weather, even if the snow does stick around, the folks who support the MS Society will be out next Saturday for the annual MS Walk. You can still register at mswalks.ca. Well, whatever you choose to do this weekend, I hope you have a great one. I'm Heather Clagus, and that's what's happening.
This is Newcap Sports.
For many grade 12 student athletes, their high school football careers ended in 2016, but 4 Holy Rosary players are being given another chance, and as Lance Phillips explains, it may prove to be one that takes their careers further.
82 of Alberta's best high school seniors will descend on Calgary's McMahon Stadium May 19th to 22nd to take part in the province's premier high school football game, the Senior Bowl. And Holy Rosary High School in Lloydminster will be well represented. A great finish for players that have spent years together, on and off the gridiron.
It's pretty awesome to have a bunch of guys from your school to come with you, so you don't really feel too isolated as being the only Lloyd guy there. So it was really nice to do it with all my buddies and teammates.
Oh, I was really excited. There was a big group of talented D linemen out there, and I'm happy to make it.
I was excited. I'm happy to make it. I didn't think I was going to make it because there's quite a few old linemen there, but my coach phoned me up and said, "Hey, you made the team," and I was.
There's a lot of guys there who had a lot of skill and a lot of talent, and just to be one of the 40 guys to make the team really shows that I've worked hard for the last month and a half and that all my work has paid off.
Scouts from schools across Canada and the U.S. take in the game, meaning opportunities for post-secondary scholarships are on the line.
It doesn't really bother me. I'm just going to go play my game, and hopefully that's enough to get the eyes of some coaches or recruit people.
You're nervous, but you're excited at the same time. You just got to go in, play hard, and have a good day.
Lloydminster's become well known for churning out elite football players, and everyone agrees on the factors creating success.
Well, in Lloyd, we're really underestimated here, but we got a lot of good coaches and trainers here.
All these amazing coaches that we have, on Red Dogs, it's coaches from the surrounding area, so it's not the same coach every time.
During the season, we have our 6th period is just strictly related to football, so we're getting an advantage in the weight room and understand, because of chalk talk and stuff, so our understanding is a little bit better, and then we just get 3+ hours a day of football, which not a lot of other schools get.
Lance Phillips, Newcap Sports, Lloydminster.
On Wednesday, the Lloyd Comp boys rugby team was practicing indoors, and yesterday it was ES Laird's girls team on the field, actually on the field in the snow. Lance Phillips with more.
Anyone who thinks girls aren't tough clearly wasn't at ES Laird's field yesterday. The Sabres girls took on the Meadow Lake She-Devils in their first game of the season, earning a 25-10 win. Despite the snow on the field, the girls' spirits certainly weren't dampened.
Oh my gosh.
Well, maybe a bit.
Last year I got trampled to the ground, like someone sat on my head, so like I'm not really worried about getting hurt. It's just in the snow, it's cold.
The snow part is fun. Like it's really fun to be able to have like a different environment, I guess, because I'm used to playing in warm weather and on the grass. This is only my second year too, so on the snow is like, it's just the most fun part, I think.
It's fun to see them out playing. It's unique to be out playing in the snow and first game of the year. It's kind of a tough introduction for the first timers into the sport, but it's a lot of fun too.
For some of the girls, this is their introduction to rugby, and they can already see the aspects of the game they're fond of.
I like how intense it is, and like, I like the action.
Well, I'm a pretty fast person in general, so when I get to like run and get past everybody and like weave through everybody and then get a try, it's pretty interesting.
Being a combative sport, I think that it's at another level than other sports in many ways, because they're all working together and it's quite physical. That there's a sense of pride in working with your teammates, and you've got your teammates back a little bit. And just at this age, it's a low cost and it's very active, and it takes, you can feel a sense of pride for playing. It takes a bit of courage.
Due to the lack of schools with rugby programs, ES Laird's team is comprised of 3 different schools, meaning girls interested in the sport have more opportunity to play. Lance Phillips, Newcap Sports, Lloydminster.